What's up, everybody? I need you guys to do me a huge favor. I need you guys to give this video a thumbs up. Also, click the subscribe button so you're notified every time I launch or put out a video. They're filled with information. I'm trying to put out a lot of content for you guys. Please subscribe, give it a like. Let's get to the video. What's up, everybody? It's me, Brian Spruti from Genesis Personal Training, and let's jump into week 3. Now, this week I want to talk to you guys about the 3 different phases of dieting, which is the pre-dieting phase, the dieting phase, and the post-dieting phase. Now, what's really cool is I've already talked to the majority of you guys and have assessed your first week of information, calories, and weight. And some of you guys have actually spoken to over the phone many times, which has been great. So this week, I just want to talk to you a little bit about that next step. So first off, you should be finishing up your second week of assessment. That second 7 days of weigh-ins and caloric intake. When you're finished, again, you're going to inbox me through Facebook and send me over that information, and also let me know how you're doing with your 3 habits and behaviors you're trying to address to not only lose weight, but see weight loss long term. Now, the 3 different phases, like I said, are pre-weight loss, pre-dieting phase, dieting phase, and post-dieting phase. Now, when we go over the second week of assessment, your information, depending on what you're averaging, will be dependent on what I suggest you do. Think about it like this. Weight loss comes down to caloric deficit, consuming less. But you can't get to the point to where you're consuming so little that you may become malnourished or deficient in certain things. So with some clients, if they're really low, especially the ones that are in the 800, 900, 1,000, 1,100, even 1,200 calorie range, I'll set up a pre-dieting phase because we're prepping your body to diet if it's not already in that state. So what that usually entails is increasing your metabolic capacity, which means slowly increasing the amount of calories you're consuming per day. Along with that, we're monitoring your rate of weight gain. I don't want you just to go crazy and start eating just to take in more calories. I want to be smart about it and manage how much weight you're adding on. Nice thing about that is, and a lot of the times I find, those first couple hundred calories, you really don't see a weight gain with people. Their weight actually stays pretty much the same. So the goal is to try to get you to a safe caloric intake before we start dieting. I may do that with a client from anywhere from 6 to 8 to 12 weeks, depending on the severity of the deficit pre-dieting that they're currently at. So a lot of that we have to take into account, again, because I don't want people becoming malnourished or deficient in anything. Then we set up the dieting phase. Now, normally with the dieting phase, if you're in a safe caloric intake zone, what I usually have clients do is institute a 5% deficit on overall calories. Because when it comes to creating a caloric deficit, we want to use a scalpel and not a hatchet. We want to take it slow due to adaptation, meaning your body always wants to keep a state of homeostasis. It wants to keep everything cool. So it'll keep lowering, especially as you lose weight. So that's why we use little increments. A lot of the times what you'll see is people jump to a super low caloric intake because they want to lose weight. And then what happens is once their body adapts to that, they have no room to play. Where if they would have took a smarter, slower approach, they would have seen much more success and much more weight loss sustainability, because in a lot of those cases, people end up binging because their caloric intake is so low. And then we'll get into the post-dieting phase. The post-dieting phase is where we want to set you up at a safe caloric intake that you can sit at the rest of your life and manage your weight. Similar to the pre-dieting phase, once a client reaches their goal weight, what I like to do with them, again, is try to push their metabolic capacity. They're slowly increasing their calories along the way and managing their rate of weight gain. For instance, you might have somebody, or I've had in the past people who have had a caloric intake, let's say they started at 2,800. And through the months, we've slowly decreased that intake. Once we get to that weight that they're comfortable at, the body composition they're comfortable at, they're not going to be able to stay at that low caloric intake. So they might be down to, let's say, 2,200 or 2,000. So what we then do is incorporate what I like to call a reverse or a recovery phase. It's that post-dieting phase. Slowly increasing caloric intake while managing weight gain. So we want to get them to a caloric intake where they feel comfortable, where they feel full, where they can fully function, hormones are balanced out, everything's great, and they can maintain that the rest of their life. So those are the 3 dieting phases that I'll be talking to you guys about once you send your information in to me. I was initially going to have you guys go over this at home and just, send you some general guidelines, but I love doing this, so I really enjoy talking to you guys and going over the information via text or over the phone with you. So make sure you send in your second 7 days, then I'll have all 14. I have everything all laid out in Google Sheets. All of you guys that have been sending me stuff, I've been creating tabs on Google Sheets and dividing and adding stuff out, and I have your habits and behaviors there. So that's why what I wanted to go over with you guys this week. Also, make sure you're working on those habits and behaviors. Those are really the things I wanted to tackle in week 3, is once I have all 14 days of your information, I'll be talking to you guys on an individual basis. So this video isn't going to be filled with a ton of information. This is more or less, I want you to understand what that next step is once I have all that information, the 14 days. So I look forward to looking over all your information. If you guys have any questions, make sure to either comment below the video or shoot me a message directly, and I will talk to you guys soon.